is Hydo, and welcome to my brand new show, A Few Cards Short, where today I am Hydo. Sounds a bit weird, but as you watch more of these, it'll make a bit more sense. So, what is this show? It's all about the first picks of a specific pack. And today we're having a look at Magic the Gathering, Dungeons & Dragons, Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. The title that just keeps going. So we're going to pick our top cards out of this, and then the top three, there's a couple of trials that they need to run through, so that we can pick out the very best of the best. So without further ado, let's have a look inside of our booster pack. So, first off, we've got Bull's Strength, 2-mana instant, target creature gets 2/2 and gains trample until end of turn. Untap it. Cool little combat trick, but we're not going to be first picking it. Then we have this fine card, Precipitous Drop. 3 mana for an enchant or enchant creature. When it enters the battlefield, venture into the dungeon. So we're going to go deep into the dungeon here. Enchanted creature gets -2/2. It gets -5/5 instead, as long as you completed a dungeon. So this is a nice little bit of removal spell. So I'm going to keep it around. You know, we might end up picking it. Then we've got a Delver's Torch. 2 mana for an equipment. Crit creature gets +1. Whenever a crit creature attacks, venture into the dungeon. Pretty cool. Quick cost of 3. And this, you know, in sealed, did win me a game. It's a very, very powerful effect. Constantly venturing into the dungeon. Really, really nice. And if you can strap this onto a flyer, it's a nice little buff in terms of the +1/+1. So this card, I like it as well. So we'll keep it around. Then we've got Contact Other Plane, which 4 mana for an instant. Roll a d20. 1 to 9, draw 2 cards. 10 to 19, scry 2, then draw 2 cards. Then 20, scry 3, and draw 3 cards. This card, I'll be honest, I don't like the dice rolling mechanic. Yeah, 4 mana for just drawing 2 cards, it's decent. It's okay. I'd play that sort of card. But the randomness, it just, you know, if we're going for competitiveness, it's okay. If we're going for fun, yes, rolling the d20. Brilliant. But this, personally, I'm not a big fan of, so off you go. Then we've got Brazen Dwarf. 2 mana for a 1/3. Whenever you roll 1 or more dice, Brazen Dwarf deals 1 damage to each opponent. So a nice little constant sort of pinging effect that you can get off rolling dice. But as I've just said, this isn't something I'm into in the slightest. We'll get rid of it, so. Then we've got Spoils of the Hunt. 3 mana for an instant. Target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each mana from a treasure that was spent to cast this spell. Then that creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. So again, a nice little bit of removal. Yes, it's really hedging us into the treasure sort of sub-theme, and this itself doesn't actually produce treasures. It's, you know, a bit parasitic. It really requires other things to function, but could potentially be good. And a good little fight card. It's nice all around, so we'll put it to one side for now. Then we've got You See a Guard Approach. 1 mana for an instant. Choose 1. Distract the guard. Tap target creature. Or hide. Target creature you control against hexproof until end of turn. So a nice little temporary sort of effect. You know, tap a creature. Bit of tempo, you know, swing in there. Get a bit of damage in. Is it first pickable? Not for me. Not by a long shot. So that's going to go the way of the dodo. And then we've got Steadfast Paladin, 2 mana, 2/2 with lifelink. This is the sort of card that's just reliable. So Dwarf Knight, you know, a 2 mana, 2/2, it gets the work done. And lifelink is important. There is a sort of life gain sub-theming green-white, I believe. So, despite not being that exciting, I am going to keep this one around until later. Which brings me on to Chattering Skeletons, you know, the special version of it here. 4 mana for a 4/3. When it dies, venture into the dungeon. So another great little dungeon card. The Delver's Torch is repeatable, but this is a 4 mana 4/3, which is pretty decent. You know, I've seen a lot worse in my time. So I'm actually going to keep this one around, which brings us on to Evolving Wilds. We're going to have a look at it, but we're not interested in mana fixing for first picks. Critical Hit. 2 mana for instant. Target creature gains double strike until end of turn. When you roll a natural 20, return it from your graveyard to your hand. So very in theme, you know, for the Dungeons & Dragons set. Really, really fits in. But is it good? I'm going to say no. Double strike, you know, a nice little pump spell. Is it that good? No. So off we go. Which brings us on to Wild Shape. 1 mana for an instant. Choose 1. Until end of turn, target creature you control has the base power and toughness, becomes the creature type of your type, and gains that ability. 1/3 Turtle with Hexproof. 1/5 Spider with Reach. 3/3 Elephant with Trample. So a nice couple of options there, but is it that interesting? No, not really. It's not first pickable. Which brings me on to, you see a pair of goblins. 2 mana for an instant. Choose 1. Charge them. Creatures you control get +2% until end of turn. Befriend them. Create 2 1/1 red goblin creature tokens. This is really, really nice. We've got a Trumpet Blast and then, you know, a Goblin Maker thing. I can't remember a card that does that. But this being an instant and has both of them, those modes, really, really powerful. The Trumpet Blast +2% until end of turn. Really, really good if you're ahead and can just close out games. And then nice little blockers, you know, flash them in and then we can attack him with them for lethal or something like that. So this is definitely in contention for me, which brings me on to Gelatinous Cube. 4 mana for an ooze. 4/3. Engulf. When it enters the battlefield, exile target non-ooze creature an opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield. Then it has Dissolve. Play a black and X, put target creature card for mana value X, exile with cube into its owner's graveyard. This is exactly what you want from a rare. 4 mana 4/3. Pretty good. Chattering Skeletons. I considered that, you know. This fine card here. But this comes in with a removal spell of its own, and then you can put it into the graveyard so you don't get it back if they remove the cube. This is just incredible. And, you know, it's definitely going to be in the top 3, which depresses me in a lot of ways. But it's really, really nice. When... Oh, it's an island. So, no foil. And then we've got a Lost Mine of blah, blah, blah. So, these are my sort of top picks here. Let's whittle it down. Steadfast Paladin, 2 mana 2/2. It's just a bit meh. It's not going to be first pickable. Gelatinous Cube, we're definitely going to be having that. Absolutely amazing card. Chattering Skeletons, good card, but I think, you know, the cube is just a much better version of it. Which brings us on to the rest of them. Spoils of the Hunt, I think we can get rid of it. First picking this, you know, leads us into green, but we want to really have treasures. And then out of the rest of them, Delver's Torch, I think that's definitely a top pick. I really, really like it. Equipments in this set, very, very powerful. And then out of these two, a removal spell or as a nice little surprise army and, you know, a win condition, I'd rather take the removal spell. So we're going to get rid of You See a Pair of Goblins. And those are my top 3. So without further ado, let's whittle them down to 1, you know, really pick which is the best out of these 3. Come and join me. That's right, today's weapon of mass destruction, scissors. A nice, useful tool, but first, let's pick out the cards that we're going to destroy. Randomise them, and then, well, let's pick 2 out and get to work on them. You know, it's a bit painful to watch, to be quite honest, but it's all in good fun, so let's get chopping. So, the question on all of our minds, did I destroy everything I held dear? Is the Gelatinous Ooze in solid condition? Well, let's have a look, shall we? We've got 2 rather, you know, sleeve playable cards. So let's dig in and have a look. Oh God. The first one we've got. Oh, for God's sake. So, the Ooze You know, I could still play that. I'd put that in an EDH deck. It's yeah, it's in a condition. I've received cards from Card Market in similar conditions, so I'm not too unhappy with this. You know, it's still got a mana cost, still see its power and toughness. Yeah, okay. So let's have a look at what else we destroyed. Oh dear. The Delver's Torch. You know, slightly more damage there. You know, the top's okay. Still, you'd play this, you know, sleeve playable. You know, I'd see, you know, using that in the draft. So, the winner is a Precipitous Drop. Well done, Precipitous Drop. You've won. Oh dear, for these rares over here. Oh dear. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please do subscribe. I'm going to be making 7 more of these for this, and then after that we're doing Modern Horizons 2. So join me for the absolute carnage. Thanks for watching. Bye.